very best. Charles, I got you. Go ahead.
Finally, yeah. A whole bunch of people were like messaging me asking, like, "Hey, what's going on? No one's talking on this whole chat."
Hey, man, that's my fault. I got Twitter Spaces open. Apparently, I had my mic off on this, man. So many little adjustments to have on here. I've been talking about Lieutenant Colonel Scheller being arrested, and now members of Congress coming out and 36 of them have said he needs to be released immediately.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like that the Biden administration at this point is just finding more than one reason to try to purge the military and any other higher command and get everyone onto his level as far as the chain of command. And this guy got in his way by calling him out on his very stupid decisions he's made here recently. So he's trying to make an example. But that's just my personal opinion on the matter. I've heard from friends of mine that are in the military. They are going at him like crazy, as far as you can't say anything bad about him. You can't say anything bad about the commander-in-chief. Everything you post on social media, what you're posting, everything like that can get you immediately kicked out, let alone the COVID vaccinations. They're already now very hitting them hard as far as my friends, because I'm in my mid-20s. So I've got, high school friends that are in the military right now. And some of the stuff that they send me, it worries them. It worries them. It's like, hey, I came in here. Am I going to get kicked out? And it's a matter of, to a lot of them, it's a matter of when we get kicked out, not if we're going to get kicked out if we refuse to get the shot. So
yeah, they've been thinning the herd there for a long time, Charles, and I appreciate it, man. Back in 2009 when Barack came into power, especially, it was like, being part of the, force reconnaissance community and having, a lot of my buddies go over to MARSOC when it was stood up in 2006 after I left the Marine Corps. It was, one of those things where, a lot of these guys, they've got tattoos and sleeves and all that kind of stuff. And, that was one of the easiest ways to get rid of some of the tenured, very battle hardened, Marines out there. And as soon as, that came about, tattoos and everything, their regulations, restrictions got, way more severe. And then, I think it was 2011, 12 sometime when they started, going through and either, petitioning or, taking polls of which people in the military would be all right with acting on American soil. And I think that's, I think that was the start of it. I think what we're seeing now is really more or less they're the last piece on the chessboard that they kind of need to remove from the military right now is a lot of people from the rank and file that are not going to go along with what I think is probably in our very near future. If they had some control of, the rank and file in the military for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you hear about guys like him getting arrested, but then you've got a female who is basically just a mechanic going on TikTok talking about how she will turn guns on American people. I don't know if you've seen that.
I have seen that, man. It's a slap on the wrist, right?
Nothing said to her. I don't recall. I know someone that's actually in the same base as her, and I haven't heard a single word from him about any kind of punishment. I mean, she basically just got a slap on the wrist, told don't do that again, and nothing else, when she has literally threatened American lives, saying if you don't do as I tell you to, I'm going to point a gun at you.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, your fellow Americans, man, like somebody's like, Jesus. I mean, people that you literally share, it's some culture with, I guess not a lot anymore, for God's sakes. It's crazy.
I mean, either way, I mean, we're a nation of cultures, but for God's sakes, if you told a soldier or a police officer, if you don't do what I tell you to do, I'm going to point a gun at you. What do you think is going to happen to you? You're going to get into a lot of deep shit.
Oh man. I mean, well, and that's the thing is, like, growing up back in the day, that's what you thought, right? Is like, you thought back in the day that these guys were here to serve and protect and all that kind of stuff. And really, what it's turned into is they're collecting a paycheck, and really, if they weren't in fear for their lives, what would be happening across America right now, with the evaporation of our rights. And I mean, seriously, not only evaporation, but absolute all out assault on our rights as Americans. The First Amendment has been absolutely butchered in America. I mean, the censorship, the shutting down, the mechanical precision they have with their algorithms directed by the White House. I mean, we heard Jen Psaki up there talking about directing, especially Facebook, to go out there and censor. And I guarantee you, maybe this show probably gets shut down or at least deleted from YouTube for, talking about this kind of stuff. But it's like, First Amendment's gone. The Second Amendment, there's 22,000 gun laws, and, they're trying to shove more and more confiscation down our throats. Third Amendment here or there, do they invade houses and set up watch? Yeah, I guess they definitely do that, but nobody talks about it. And then you've got the Fourth Amendment that has been eviscerated by things like all the Patriot Acts, the NDAA, and on top of that, civil asset forfeiture, which I think is one of the biggest shams that even, quote unquote, good sheriffs out there will sit there and talk about how, it's okay to take money without due process, to take property without due process, to put property on trial when no crime has been not only, leveled, but the guy hasn't even stood in court.